Oh, yes, welcome. It's Kate, Tim and Joel here. Welcome. Thanks for hitting download. Or maybe we've just been put into your podcast feed against your will, like you two on the phone.
I know. Here we are. Hi.
Oh, God, sorry about that. Maybe we've just started automatically playing after you were enjoying a Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh, my God. How irritating hearing my voice after that.
Yeah.
Or it's come on after one of your relaxing, sound,
Yes.
calm apps.
Yeah.
And it's me. Hello. Hi.
Hello. We love our listeners and we love getting calls from them because we always are amazed why anyone would call us.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, why did they bother?
Yeah, well, here's some now who did bother and we're thankful for it.
Kate, Tim and Joel.
Okay. Well, I like this story. This is this woman gets some serious revenge,
Yes.
and with a bit of poop. Emma Crombie's her name. She's from Glasgow. She's 35 years old. She's gotten some sweet revenge on an Uber Eats scammer.
Oh, hang on, you mean
I know I have a food Uber account.
food Uber?
Food Uber.
Oh, they're like,
Uber.
why didn't we think of that?
Oh, she's a genius. Get her in here.
How much for Kate? We'll double it.
Well, Emma's gotten some revenge on an Uber Eats scammer who used her card to order $70 worth of KFC. So that's a pretty respectable amount of KFC.
I assume.
Yeah.
I must say,
that's a lot.
I've ordered more before
Have you?
when I've been hungover. Oh, yeah. Not just for me and Jack.
But how much?
How much is a bucket?
Ooh, I don't know.
Do you get a bucket or are you a Zinger burger? I'm a Zinger burger
I
person.
like the zinger with cheese.
I like the zingers.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we get tomorrow.
Okay.
Now, when she noticed the charge, she immediately contacted Uber, who refunded her payment. However, Emma decided to seek revenge on the scammers, which I quite like.
How did she know who they were?
Well, since she had their delivery address,
Of course.
Emma decided to send them a little parcel filled with dog poo. So Emma used her niece's dog, Bronson, cheers Bronson, and loaded up a box full of poo.
Good.
And shipped it out to the address with a note that said, "Hope you enjoyed your Uber Eats that I treated you to." Good work,
Good one.
Emma.
Scamming the scammer.
Yes.
I had someone call the other day asking for my my tax file number.
That's you told us about this. Was fun. This is funny.
So I just went, yeah. I just set out random numbers, and the guy's like, "It's 9 numbers and it starts with 3." And I go, "Oh, of course."
Oh, that's right.
And then did it again, and then he wrote it down, and then he asked my details, and I gave him, he's got my number already. And then he asked for my email address, so I gave him an email address. A very rude email address.
Oh, did you? I thought you also said, hang on a second, I've got to go and get my
Yeah, I
details.
did all that and
I
left
love that.
it. I said, "Hang on," and I left the phone up, and he was getting so angry.
That's hilarious.
Sorry, but when I did the email address,
What was it?
well, I can't say any of it except the at bit. But it was basically
What?
FU scammer at getf.com.au.
Right.
He goes, F you! No, F you!
How long do you think you had him on the line for?
Oh, about 10 minutes.
Oh,
I was
that's
I
incredible.
was driving. It was the best.
Oh, and the joy.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, obviously, I normally listen to Nova in the car, but I thought I got to make one phone call.
Oh, exactly.
Fair enough.
Hey, Laura, you've left. Hang on, have you left this for someone, or has someone left this tip for you?
No, I left it for someone.
Oh.
Okay, want to tell us
Yep.
what it is? Because you're on the radio.
Yes. Right, so what happened was a good friend of mine, now this isn't poo on the doorstep, but something a bit better, I think. So a good friend of mine, her boyfriend was cheating on her and she was so distraught. So I thought it would be a good idea to get some good old revenge. So during the day, we saved my daughter's pooey nappies. And then we went down to the basketball stadium where he was playing a game of basketball, and we shoved the poo up the door handles of his car. And then we sat back. We sat back in the car park and we watched him try to open the car, and then he sniffed his fingers.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. That is brilliant work.
Yes, and
No, it
he
gets
didn't
better.
have no idea.
gets
Oh, it gets
better.
better.
Okay, go.
It gets better. Then he went around to the other side of the car
Oh, no.
and tried to open it again where there was more poo, and then he sniffed his fingers again.
Oh, my gosh, what's wrong with
I
this
think
guy?
you got to make sure it's poo, don't you? Like, you think if it's not, then you won't worry.
Yeah, well, wasn't
surely
it
you
Nutella,
could
you'd lick your fingers.
Smell it on the approach, wouldn't you?
I don't know. Confused by the whole thing. I love Laura's energy, though. I'm glad we stuck with her.
What a
Laura's
great
energy.
friend, actually. What a great
Yes.
friend.
You want Laura in a pickle.
Yeah, in your corner.
In a big poo in a bag fight. Josh, what happened?
Hey guys. So my next door neighbours has a little sausage dog, and they when they go for a walk, they let their dog poo on my front yard like nearly every day. So on our security
rude.
cameras, we can see that happen. And so we collected about a week's worth of dog poo, and after that, we put it on their front doorstep, and they haven't had their dog poo in our front yard.
Oh,
ever
good.
since. And they still don't know who it was.
Oh, great. Well,
Well, maybe they do know because that's where the dog crapped every day.
yeah.
I think it's weird, isn't it? When we were talking about scamming the scammers, and then Joel suggested maybe we ask ever left on a doorstep. That's what all the calls were about.
Yeah.
Our listeners get up to some
I like it.
stuff.
I like
No,
it.
I like it. It's good, isn't it?
Yep, excellent.
Okay.
Kate, Tim and Joel.
This one was amazing, actually. It happened in a spin class, and you know I love a spin class.
You're right into them.
Mad for us. I like a class. I like a gym class. This happened to, her name was Maxine Vandam Diesel. She's taken to social media to share an embarrassing story that occurred in a spin class.
I went to a spin class after a night of heavy drinking and 4 a.m. kebabs, and I farted a fart that smelled so bad that girl threw up, and they had to evacuate the entire gym because they thought they had a sewage problem. I was too embarrassed to tell them it was just me.
Maxine. Now, when the class was evacuated, Maxine, didn't want to confess that the smell was because of her. So she played along and blamed the sewage. I mean, the poor sewage, taking the blame for it.
How can it be that bad?
Viewed 2.2 million times.
It's
That's
not going to make
content.
somebody vomit, is it? Has
Apparently.
anyone ever vomited?
I don't know.
I've never smelt anything that was going to make me vomit.
Well,
In like a
means you
spin
dealt it.
class. Maybe you're the culprit.
oh, you're here. I always think at 5 o'clock, I always go, is there a sewage problem? And then I go,
I've never done any of those things. I was talking to my daughter about it again this morning. I said, "Do you know this, darling? I mean, doesn't do this.
Darling, we smoking a cigarette at the time.
Hey, darling.
darling.
yeah,
I don't do this, I don't do that, and I don't do that." And she just looked at me like this.
someone down the hall who I won't name reckons that they see you in the cubicle at 5 past 5 watching YouTube videos.
Millsy makes up the worst story. What's he doing in the ladies?
You know I don't do that, darling.
Well, Mills is a culprit for other things. He uses the middle urinal, which is like, there's 3 urinals.
Oh.
You don't stand in the middle. It's not your house.
No.
You stand in the corner. No, the middle one is decorative.
Yeah, it's
no
very-
one uses the middle one.
It's very territorial, though. So I would imagine, if that was me, I'd be stepping up to the middle one to put off everybody else from using one either side. So does he have something to hide?
Oh, wow.
Well, I go down there. I've got 3 minutes generally at the most for a Doja Cat song to finish. And I'm like, well, I can't politely wait for him to stop. I need to be squashed in the corner
Why don't you go into a cubicle?
because Kate's in there watching YouTube.
Darling.
Darling. Watching TikTok videos of Miley Cyrus.
Oh, is that what I'm
Plop,
doing?
plop.
Throw it. Oh, I can see you laughing
Without
in there in the
you.
dark.
Plop, plop.
It's not even funny.
It sounds like it might be. I'm not an idiot, but laughter generally indicates.
They're
Hey.
doing it so they don't get yelled at.
Oh, the girls are laughing too.
Yes.
Plop, plop. Elise. Splash.
Yes, hi.
Hi, Elise.
Hi, Elise.
So I've got funny part story, right? So my partner, I'm going to start this off by saying he's lactose intolerant.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
my God. Kick him to the curb,
Recipe
mate.
for disaster.
No one's got
Right.
time for that.
And I'm allergic to cream, just cream, not milk, not cheese, not dairy. It's
All right,
really
it's your story,
weird.
mate. Don't get angry.
And so one day he had enchiladas that had cream in them for lunch, and then probably about an hour or two later, he farted. And his fart, because he's lactose intolerant, it had cream particles in it. So I had an allergic reaction from his fart.
Oh, my God.
Have you made this whole thing up?
That is amazing.
No, we had a friend there at the time. saw the whole thing happen.
What's the allergic reaction you have?
I get a lot of really bad cramps in my gut, and my throat gets a bit dry. It's not bad. I don't need to go to hospital or anything. So I'm really lucky. But yeah, my throat started to get a bit dry, and just because there was cream in his fluff.
From breathing
cream
in the
particles.
enchilada fluff.
Yeah, from the cream that wasn't digested because he's lactose intolerant.
So does it come out like cream? I don't get it.
No,
it's not
but because there were
digested.
cream particles in the air from his fart because they weren't because they hadn't been broken down with because he's lactose intolerant.
Oh my God, it's airborne. That is, I mean, this is just a conversation I never, envisioned myself being part of.
Not on the radio.
No, not ever.
No, not being paid to have it.
Kate, Tim and Joel.
Well, you say this because, of course, Joel, unfortunately or fortunately for you did not get to come to Vegas with this crew, although we may get there one day. Blackers, yes, you just had a little spew and then you met us out later that night. You weren't allowed to go to Mariah Carey, but that was probably best
It was a blessing for everyone.
Yes.
Including me too. I just sat in my room and had a few drinks and watched YouTube clips. Like literally my favourite thing to do.
Yeah.
Wow, you're a trooper.
You had more fun than we did. But then what's your other famous spew story?
After the races, I quickly spewed in the pot plant at the nightclub that we're at afterwards, and that's fine. No one noticed that. And then in the cab,
Yes, this is my favourite.
going from one venue to another, and it was getting a little bit rocky.
Yeah.
And I was sitting, there was a few of us in the car, so I was sitting behind the driver, and the driver had beaded seats, and I was sitting behind the driver, and it was like, it all came in my mouth, and then like one of those sprinklers. that just went
Through the beads.
absolutely everywhere.
I mean, thank God for the beads.
Yes.
And what did you do? Did you just get out?
No, of course not. I gave him some money to clean it all up or something.
I hope so.
And look, it's the
It's a real highlight for them, isn't it?
how was your night, honey? Well, this bloke.
Oh, my God.
Inconvenient spews, yeah.
One of the first stories I think I told you on this story was this show was when I was a little hungover and I was at Tokyo Disneyland on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride and had to throw up my Mickey Mouse waffle, and so I did it over the side of the ride, but because it was the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, I got away with it and masked it by going "Arr" like a pirate.
I've had some close calls.
Oh,
you can get
loads
rid
of
of close
close
calls really quickly.
And you're so proud of yourself.
And then you go,
You're like, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. Oh, wow, I'm a hero.
and then people go, why are your eyes watering so much?
I'm pushing it down like my feelings. And
This is blocking my nasal cavity. That's why.
Lucky I don't have to kiss anyone tonight because I stink.
Well, I don't have a vomiting story to share.
That's ridiculous.
Anyway, this guy, I mean, this doesn't actually sound as fun, but an anonymous man assumed that he flunked a job interview. Well, this is what he's blaming it on, after he vomited while meeting with the company bosses. So the man explained that while talking with the managers, he started to feel unwell. I don't know why he was unwell. I don't know if he had a big night.
Yeah.
Or he'd eaten a bad oyster. Out of nowhere, the man threw up. Not only did he throw up, but it must have been during COVID times because he had a face mask on. So he's, I guess,
gross.
thrown back up on himself via the face mask. It quickly spilled out of his mask and down his shirt.
oh, it's like a face nappy.
Yes. And the manager escorted him out and said that they will finish the interview another day. There's no follow-up as to whether that interview was followed up another day. I've got a feeling it probably wasn't.
Bridget.
Hey,
Hey, Takyaks. Yeah, go.
I vomited when I was skydiving, so I had the biggest night of my life. The night before, because I was on some PQ.
That was
well
well
planned.
Why
planned.
did you do
Floating
that?
down back to Earth.
Yeah.
And, but my instructor, he was all prepared and whipped out a sick bag. So I was vomiting in a sick bag as I was floating down. And
Oh, wow.
Have you got it on
And,
video?
yeah, well, they had to edit it because they didn't want it to look bad if I showed people because it was a great experience. But I was just
goodness.
too hungover.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, I've got a few photos where I'm holding my sick bag.
I'm surprised one of us didn't vomit in that Cessna in New Zealand where we'd had a couple of drinks the night before and then decided to fly back to Auckland on a light aircraft
What you're talking
with a
about.
12-year-old pilot who was a genius, by the way.
I think I fell asleep on your shoulder.
You did?
You were like Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It was like like he's the dead guy in the back, but we're just pretending everything's fine.
I know. And if I'd said, look at that, it's so beautiful.
We're gonna go.
And then Kate couldn't hear anything anyway. She's staring out the window like she always does.
Yeah, because the conversation is awful with you two.
Well,
you in
one of us was
particular?
asleep.
Yeah. I was lucky the pilot was so young, like even too young for you.
You're banned.
You're banned. Delete your account.
Donna, finally. Oh, you tack yak.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
Yep.
Are
Hey,
you
Donna.
right?
Hello, Donna.
Hi, guys. Okay, so the story goes about 20 years ago when you were able to smoke inside pubs. We had a girls' night out, and all the
Yes.
girls had their bags on the table. And one of the girls beside me said, I think I'm going to be sick. And with that, she grabbed her handbag, vomited in her handbag, and put it back on the table. So then they all got up and went and had a dance on the dance floor. I not realised her husband came over behind me and opened the handbag and put his hand in there to pull out her cigarette. And he had vomit hanging in off his fingers all over her cigarettes and all over the table.
Kate, Tim and Joel.
But have you ever quit any?
Nah.
I don't mean work. I mean like anything in life. Right, I quit. I'm going to quit yoga.
Oh, okay. Well, obviously.
I think I quit uni in style when the lecturer told me I have messy handwriting and I was looking for any out. I said, that is enough.
You have crossed the line.
Yeah. Oh my God. That broke the camel's back. I turned on my heel and walked out. So this story happened while we were on break, and it was great. But there's been a little update now. Mrs. World.
Right.
There's a Mrs. World competition. Her name's Caroline Jury. She has now quit her title that I guess you receive for life after she was arrested for snatching the crown from Pushpika, who was the new Mrs. World. She was being crowned. The crown was on her head, and she was being crowned Mrs. Sri Lanka.
Oh, beautiful. Look at these dresses.
Oh, they look stunning. Now, when Pushpika was awarded the crown, Caroline, Mrs. World, the reigning Mrs. World, stepped forward
Yeah.
to the mic to express her anger. Here it is.
There's a rule that you all have to be married and not divorced. So, I'm taking my first step saying that the crown goes to the first runner-up.
Oh my goodness. So,
So-
they tried to play the music really loud.
I know.
didn't they?
So
they can't get the crown off her head.
yeah, and so she's just been crowned, and then Caroline dramatically pulls it off Pushpika's head and placed it on the runner-up's head. Caroline was arrested and was released on bail following the incident.
Caroline, the one who's getting the crown ripped off her head.
No.
Caroline,
Oh.
the one that was doing the ripping.
Who didn't
Oh.
like it and who took to the microphone.
Yeah.
Even though they're the rules.
Well,
So she had a bee in a bonnet, didn't she? And she
Yes.
didn't like the idea that she was a divorcee.
no, not at all. Now, Pushpika De Silva, that's her name. She received medical treatment in hospital after the incident.
Sequin scratched. Hey?
Yeah. Ow! Kate Schneider from Ireland, the runner-up of the 2020 contest, will now claim the title of Mrs. World. It seems very messy.
Oh, so this is the Sri Lankan titles that then go to a actual Miss World? Oh, wow. Yes, it is, yeah.
Yeah, the video is
slow.
well worth a watch.
Yeah.
It's like something out of Miss Congeniality.
So Miss World, obviously, I know this is going to be really obvious. Miss World,
It's okay.
you
You didn't go to
can't,
uni, though, so we're happy for you to just, like, talk it out.
you can't be married. So it's not an age thing. It's based on whether you're married or not. So could you be a 60-year-old woman who'd never been married participating
you
in
think?
Miss World?
But they all look the same.
No, because there's so many. There's Mrs. World, there's Miss World, there's Miss Universe.
And I said they all look the same because they're all young and pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sends such a great message, doesn't it, all these
It
competitions?
does. If you're pretty, you're going to go far.
Yeah, you might get a crown snatched off your head.
Alan, now we're asking, did you quit in style?
Gangnam Style.
Oh, that's it. Jesus. Let down there.
Little tease.
Sorry, Alan.
Sorry,
Alan.
Yep.
Alan, do you mind? We're going to get you to start again, mate, because I was doing a whole Gangnam Style thing. Alan,
worth it.
sorry. I know. Did you quit in style? Oh, my God. Okay.
Well, that would be your fault with something over there.
Alan, last time, guys. Go, let's go.
okay, I was an apprentice and the boss was always complaining that he couldn't find his tools and blaming me. So one day I got the cranks and I liquid nailed all his tools where they belonged and walked out.
Open Gangnam Style.
You got him.
It's kind of funny. How upsetting. That's a bit very expensive to replace all those tools.
Yeah.
Expensive tool.
Sure, if I'd heard any of it, I would be reacting. I'm busy over here. Karen.
Indeed. How you going?
Hi,
Have you
Karen.
quit in style?
Open Gangnam Style.
I did, actually. I was working for a car dealership for a horrible boss that used to enjoy making everyone's life a living hell. I decided I would leave on my own terms when I found a new position to move on to. When I did, I jumped on the PA system, which we used to call sales staff to the showroom.
Yes.
And started belting out Frank Sinatra's New York, New York in a really, ballsy burlesque manner. So it was like, start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. And then, boss wasn't overly impressed, but I already had my handbag and keys and walked on out the door.
Oh,
that's awesome.
What a great
that
story.
is wonderful, Karen.
Kate, Tim and Joel.
But I'm a creep.
Some landlords think just because they own the joint,
Yeah,
and they technically can own keys too, that the rules of civility don't apply to them.
But are there laws around that? I mean, yes, I know your name might be on the landlord owns the house, and yes, you're right, they have keys. You can't just let yourself into somebody else's house when they're paying rent, can you?
I would think the rent transaction is the contract to say you can't do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
stay
almost paying for you not to come here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
out.
Some are creepy, though. This guy
Yeah.
caught on video.
Oh, no.
Watch out. You're on candid camera. That's not it. Anyway, Taisha
Good
McLeod.
throwback.
I love that show. What was it? Smile, you're on candid camera.
Yeah, yeah. What was your favourite show from the 30s, Joel?
I loved it. It made me feel so anxious.
The penny farthing hour.
Taisha McLeod. I'm going to try again from Halifax. Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia.
Oh, where's that?
Nova Scotia?
In Canada. I just
Yeah.
plucked that out of, I read it in the article this morning. Has shared a video of her male landlord, Creepy McCreepster,
Yeah.
sneaking into her home. Now, the man is seen lifting up her doona covers.
Ooh.
Okay, I love, this is my favourite part, sniffing the pillows,
Yuck.
her pillows,
Oh, look at him.
and then he tiptoes out of the room. This is gross.
Oh,
Look at him.
no.
And he doesn't just sniff it. It's like he puts his head in it like this and like...
Gets a real good big whiff of it.
He's kind of, it's gross. The landlord was surprised during his visit by one of Taisha's friends who had stopped by to feed the cat. What a nice friend. Taisha confronted her landlord with the footage and he said he had simply been looking for her cat. Oh, okay, mate.
What, in the pillow? With your nose.
Also, have you noticed that there's a mosquito net over the bed? Like, if you ever tried sleeping under one of those things, it's like you wake up and you think you're buried alive.
I think they're really kind of fun and romantic. You feel like you're in Vietnam.
I bought a mosquito net from Bunnings when we were staying up in Byron for ages. I put it over my daughter's bed, and of course, she pulled it down. So she was under it the whole night. No bites.
Twisted.
Yeah.
No malaria.
Joe, you know about a creepy landlord, surely. You got one for us?
Yeah, mate. My sister was renting a house, had a blocked toilet. Landlord turns up. She happened to have a little camera in the house in her bedroom because she got a new puppy, and there's the landlord sniffing her undies. So after she saw the footage, she called the police, and it's in the process at the moment.
Well, as she should.
God.
That is very invasive.
Kate, Tim and Joel is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.